Dust swirled around the edges of the farm as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in molten oranges and violent purples. Marcus Hendricks, a man whose hands had known nothing but soil and sweat, wiped his brow with the back of a calloused arm. The old barn creaked under the wind, holding decades of forgotten machinery and rusted tools. He squinted toward the horizon, where a streak of silver tore across the fading sky, crashing beyond the hills with a muted roar that shook the ground beneath his boots. Curiosity and dread tangled in his chest as he raced toward the impact site. Smoke rose in thin spirals, carrying a metallic scent that pricked at his senses. Amid the scorched dirt and splintered earth rested a ship unlike anything Marcus had ever seen, sleek, black, and shimmering with shifting light patterns that seemed alive. A hatch hissed open, and she stepped out. Her skin glimmered faintly under the dying sun, unnaturally pale yet radiant. Her eyes glowed with a color that was neither red nor gold, but something entirely foreign, as if the universe itself had painted them in forbidden pigments. She spoke without moving her lips, her voice echoing directly inside his mind. "Repair me, and I will leave your world untouched. Fail and your existence ends." Marcus did not feel fear. Only fascination and determination surged through him. He circled the ship, inspecting the damage. It was beyond anything mechanical manuals could explain. Components shifted like liquid metal. Strange glyphs etched themselves across panels, pulsing with light. Yet Marcus understood one immutable truth. Intelligence, patience, and perseverance remained human weapons sharper than any alien technology. He set to work. Hours passed. Each clang of his hammer, each spark from his welding torch echoed in the silent night. The stars above seemed to watch him, ancient witnesses to a human proving strength where most would falter. Finally, the craft hummed alive, a low vibration crawling along Marcus's spine, whispering of power and danger. The alien woman, the vampire, stepped closer. Her lips curved into a smile that was beautiful, terrifying, and predatory all at once. "I am Lyria," she said, her voice a melody that pulled at primal instincts. "I am searching for what was stolen from my people. You may have helped me, human, but your blood excites me." Marcus felt his pulse quicken, but his hands did not tremble. The farm faded around him. He was no longer a man tilling soil, but a sentinel of humanity, staring into the void and daring the universe to challenge his species. "I repair what is broken," he said, his voice firm and unwavering. "I do not fear you." Her eyes narrowed, and for a moment time seemed suspended. Then, with a grace that belied the lethal power he could sense radiating from her, she gestured toward the stars. "Come with me, human. See the universe you have only imagined. Survive, and you may witness wonders. Fail, and you will become history." Marcus stepped forward, his boots sinking into the scorched earth, and the thrill of the impossible filled him. The ship lifted, carrying him above fields he had known his entire life, into a cosmos that tested every human limit. They emerged near a nebula that glowed with colors unseen by human eyes. Fractured asteroids drifted lazily, hiding predators that could tear ships apart in seconds. Lyria's hands danced over the controls. The craft shivered under the pull of the gravitational anomaly, a place where light itself bent and whispered secrets of creation and destruction. She looked at him. Her fangs glinted. Her hunger was palpable. Marcus gripped the console, feeling the ship respond to his intuition. A human mind had deciphered alien code, predicting movements and outcomes no alien could anticipate. The nebula reacted violently. Rocks collided. Energy storms crackled like sentient lightning. Yet, under Marcus's command, the ship twisted and dodged, a testament to human ingenuity and courage. Lyria's expression shifted. Respect? Curiosity? Hunger? Marcus could not tell. All he knew was that he had survived something that could have ended worlds. "What are you searching for?" he asked, breathing hard, sweat cooling on his pale skin under the ship's internal lights. "An artifact older than your sun," she replied. "It can grant powers beyond comprehension. Many die seeking it, but I do not fail." Marcus smirked, adrenaline singing in his veins. "Then we both hunt," he said. "But remember this. Humans are unpredictable. We are resilient. We are dangerous in ways you will never calculate. Her lips curled in amusement. The stars stretched infinitely ahead. The hunt had begun. The hum of the ship vibrated through Marcus's bones as they pierced the void between stars. Space stretched infinitely, black and glittering with distant suns, nebulae, and the occasional streak of alien debris, a reminder that the universe was vast, unfeeling, and often lethal. Lyria sat beside him, her presence both alluring and menacing. Every subtle movement, the flick of her wrist, the tilt of her head, seemed calculated, predatory, yet tinged with curiosity he could not read. "You trust me," she said, voice soft but edged with a lethal undertone. "I trust my instincts," Marcus replied, eyes scanning the ship's readings. "And my instincts tell me that I do not fear you. You may be powerful, but I am human. That counts for something in a universe like this." She tilted her head, her glowing eyes reflecting the lights of distant stars. "You speak with confidence, human. Few survive long in my sector." Marcus allowed himself a thin smile. Fewer survive when they think their strength alone will save them. Humans survive because we adapt, we think, we push further than fear allows. For a moment, Lyria said nothing. The ship drifted silently, save for the low hum of its alien engines. Then she let out a soft, almost inaudible laugh, like metal scraping silk. "You are different. I will admit it. Perhaps that is why I have not drained you yet." Marcus grinned. "Consider yourself lucky. I am not ordinary." The nebula ahead twisted like a living serpent, colors rippling in waves of turquoise, violet, and black. Strange gravitational eddies tugged at the ship, and the controls screamed under the invisible force. Lyria's hands danced over the panels, her fangs catching the starlight. Yet Marcus, with nothing but intuition and years of farming ingenuity, predicted each pull of gravity and corrected the ship's trajectory. "Human," she said, almost reverently, "you understand this craft better than I do." "I understand problem-solving," Marcus replied, gripping a lever that threatened to tear from his hands. "I understand physics, instinct, and calculation, and I understand one thing more than anything. You cannot predict everything a human can do." The ship shuddered violently as a nearby asteroid field loomed ahead. Jagged rocks, some larger than small moons, drifted in unpredictable orbits, their surfaces etched with scars of cosmic collisions. "Hold on," Marcus muttered, scanning patterns, his mind racing at speeds he had never known he possessed. For hours, they dodged the field, twisting and diving as the asteroid swarm reacted unpredictably. Lyria's eyes widened as Marcus navigated using angles, thrust calculations, and instinct rather than any alien technology. "You are remarkable," she admitted, voice tinged with awe. "But this is only the beginning. What you have faced is nothing compared to what lies ahead." He did not flinch. "Bring it on. I am human. Humans thrive where others perish." Her lips curled in a predatory smile. When the asteroid field finally fell behind them, the nebula gave way to a system of planets that defied logic. One world floated in perfect silence, shrouded in an eerie green mist. Rings of broken satellites encircled it, remnants of civilizations long dead. "This is where the trail begins," Lyria said, her voice quiet but deadly. "The artifact I seek lies on this planet. It is protected by beings older than time itself. Many have tried. None have returned." Marcus felt a thrill he had never known. His heartbeat matched the distant rhythm of the planet's invisible storms. "Then it is good you have me. Humans are persistent. We do not quit. We do not fear impossible odds. And we do not die easily." Lyria studied him for a long moment, then nodded. "Perhaps you will prove useful. Or perhaps you will become another lesson in futility." They descended into the planet's atmosphere. Wind tore against the ship, green clouds whipping past like spectral serpents. Lightning forked across the sky, illuminating colossal structures half buried in the mist below. Towers of stone and metal intertwined in impossible geometries, as if the very world had grown in defiance of logic. "This place," Marcus whispered. "It is alive, or something like it is." "You are correct," Lyria said. "The artifact rests in the heart of that city. But beware, human. This place tests not just strength, but willpower, intelligence, and courage. It seeks to break all who enter." The ship touched down amid the ruins. The ground trembled faintly beneath their feet. Shadows stretched unnaturally, folding over themselves like they had secrets to hide. Marcus's boots sank slightly into the soil, which shimmered with strange energy. Every sense screamed danger, yet his human resolve refused to waver. He stepped forward. Lyria followed, silent like a shadow. The ruins seemed to pulse with ancient power. Giant stone statues of creatures half-human, half-beast loomed overhead, their eyes glinting as if alive. Marcus could almost hear whispers in the wind, ancient voices warning, testing, tempting. "Stay close," Lyria said softly. "The city is selective." Marcus's hand instinctively rested on a metal rod he had fashioned from the ship's salvage. It was crude, yet human ingenuity had made it lethal. A sudden screech shattered the silence. Shadows coalesced, forming shapes that lunged with impossible speed. Limbs twisted in impossible angles. Their eyes burned with a hunger older than humanity. Marcus swung the rod with precision, calculating each strike, each movement. Lyria's reflexes were supernatural, yet he anticipated the shadow's attacks, countering with human creativity and adaptability. For hours, the ruins became a battlefield. Human grit clashed with supernatural might. Every strike, every maneuver, was a testament to humanity's resilience and intelligence. When the last shadow dissolved into mist, Marcus gasped, sweat and grime coating his body. He had survived against creatures that could have annihilated him in seconds. Lyria studied him, expression unreadable. Then she nodded. "You are exceptional, human, perhaps worthy of survival." Marcus did not allow himself relief. The city seemed alive, and the heart of it, the artifact, awaited. They approached a colossal doorway, carved with glyphs that shimmered with energy. The air grew heavier, as if the planet itself was testing their resolve. "I have never felt anything like this," Marcus said. "It is alive, watching, judging." Lyria's eyes glinted. "The artifact responds to the worthy. Those without courage, without wit, without resilience are destroyed." Marcus smiled faintly. "Then it is lucky for it that I am human." The doorway pulsed with light. Marcus stepped forward. His every instinct screamed danger, yet every ounce of his being burned with determination. The interior of the chamber was vast, impossibly high, stretching beyond what the human eye could perceive. Light shimmered in impossible colors. The artifact rested on a pedestal, surrounded by a field of energy that distorted reality. As Marcus approached, the artifact reacted. Shadows leapt from every corner of the chamber, twisting and contorting into forms designed to terrify. Yet Marcus pressed forward. Human creativity allowed him to see patterns, to predict movements, to manipulate the energy around him. Each shadow that lunged was met with human ingenuity, misdirection, timing, courage. Lyria watched in silence. Perhaps respect, perhaps curiosity, perhaps hunger, but Marcus did not waver. Finally, he reached the pedestal. His hands, rough from years of farm work and battles, hovered over the artifact. It pulsed, alive with a power that could annihilate galaxies. Marcus's mind raced. He could feel its intelligence, its judgment, yet he did not hesitate. He pressed forward, proving that humans were unpredictable, unyielding, and indomitable. The artifact responded. Light engulfed the chamber. Shadows screamed. The planet itself seemed to tremble. Yet Marcus stood firm, every sense alert, every nerve ready. Lyria stepped beside him, silent now. She had witnessed something she had not expected, a human standing against impossible odds, proving the species' strength, intelligence, and courage. "Perhaps," she whispered, "humans are more than I gave them credit for." Marcus's hand closed around the artifact. A surge of energy shot through him. Pain, ecstasy, clarity, and chaos collided within his mind. Yet he endured, proving once more that human resilience was unmatched. The chamber quieted. The shadows faded. The artifact glowed, acknowledging a worthy master. Not just its power, but survival, ingenuity, and courage. Marcus looked at Lyria. "The universe underestimates humans. We survive. We adapt. We conquer the impossible because we refuse to yield." She nodded slowly, her predatory aura momentarily softened. "Perhaps," The hunt is not over. But you, human, have proven yourself. For now, Marcus allowed himself a brief smile. Beyond the ruins, beyond the stars, the universe waited. And he knew humanity would rise to every challenge, no matter how impossible. The artifact hummed in his hands, a testament to human ingenuity, bravery, and spirit. And somewhere deep in the cosmos, other ancient powers began to take notice. Marcus Hendricks, farmer-turned-hero, would be the spark that reminded the universe why humans could not be underestimated. The hunt had only begun. The ship hovered above the planet's ruins, its hull humming faintly as if in anticipation. Marcus Hendricks held the artifact in his hands, the energy pulsating through his veins, and he could feel it tugging at something deep within the universe itself. Lyria's eyes followed his every movement, glowing brighter than the stars around them. For a vampire who had seen millennia of cosmic horrors, she had never witnessed a human endure so much, thrive in the face of powers that would destroy entire civilizations. "This artifact," she whispered, almost in awe, "it can reshape worlds, even galaxies. And you hold it." Marcus glanced at her, eyes narrowing. Holding it is one thing, using it is another. Humans survive by thinking, by adapting. We do not rush into power blindly. Lyria's fangs glinted. Impressive. Few beings can resist its pull long enough to even speak sensibly near it. Marcus felt the artifact's energy ripple through him again, a tide of possibility and danger, visions of countless worlds and ancient beings flooding his mind. He gritted his teeth. Then it is lucky for the universe that I am human. We survive when others fail. We endure when others perish. And we outthink when others are destroyed by their own instincts. Suddenly, a pulse of energy rippled across the planet. The ruins trembled as a massive shadow emerged from the mist, a colossal being, far older than anything Marcus had ever imagined. Its body was formed from living stone and metal, eyes glowing with the fire of dying stars. Lyria hissed, stepping back instinctively. Marcus, however, planted his feet firmly. "This is a guardian," Lyria said, her voice tense. "It protects the artifact. It destroys all who are unworthy." The guardian's voice resonated through the air, deep and metallic, shaking the very ground beneath them. Mortals approach the heart of eternity. None survive. Marcus gripped the artifact, feeling its warmth, its potential. "I am not a mortal, in the sense you expect. I am human, and humans do not survive by luck or strength alone. We survive through intellect, courage, and will." The guardian paused, as if assessing the weight of his words. Its massive limbs shifted, clouds of dust and energy swirling around it. "You claim worthiness." It boomed. "Prove it." The ground beneath them cracked, energy spikes erupting like jagged teeth. Marcus's mind raced. He could feel the artifact responding to him, but not yet obeying. He realized that brute force would not win here. He needed strategy, ingenuity, and an understanding of patterns that no alien or ancient being could predict. The guardian lunged. Its massive arm, like a collapsing mountain, smashed toward them. Marcus dodged, narrowly avoiding the crushing blow. Lyria moved with supernatural grace beside him, yet even she appeared cautious. Marcus calculated trajectories, predicting the guardian's momentum with the instinct of a man who had survived countless impossible scenarios. Using the artifact, he redirected its energy impulses, destabilizing the guardian's attacks. Lightning-like arcs of cosmic force ricocheted off the ground, turning the ruins into a battlefield of light and shadow. "You are clever," the guardian rumbled, but Marcus did not pause. He moved fluidly, using the artifact to manipulate the environment, crafting barriers of energy and vectors of attack. Every step, every thought was a dance of survival and human brilliance. Lyria's eyes widened. "You are extraordinary human. No one has ever wielded it like this." Marcus grinned, sweat glistening on his brow. "Humans are dangerous not because we are the strongest or the fastest, but because we do not give up. We see patterns, we improvise, and we endure." The guardian roared, energy waves smashing against Marcus's shields. For a moment he faltered, his body straining under the immense force. But instinct, courage, and sheer human determination surged within him. He adjusted the artifact's energy pulse, redirecting it into the Guardian's own momentum, sending it stumbling back. The ruins shook violently as the Guardian roared again, but Marcus pressed forward, moving with calculated precision. Every human reflex, every learned skill, every ounce of intuition combined in a symphony of survival. Finally, Marcus leaped, planting the artifact at the heart of the Guardian's energy core. A massive shockwave erupted, ripping through the ruins. Dust, stone, and metal scattered like leaves in a storm. The Guardian froze, its massive body trembling under human-driven power. Then silence. The Guardian lowered its gaze. Its voice, once booming, now sounded reverent. Mortals have never shown such resolve. You are worthy. Marcus lowered the artifact slowly. Worthiness is earned, not claimed. Humans endure when all else fails. That is our strength. Lyria stepped forward, her fangs bared, yet a new respect gleamed in her eyes. You have survived. You have endured. Perhaps humans are not as fragile as I once believed. Marcus wiped sweat from his face. Fragile is the assumption of those who underestimate us. Humans survive impossible odds every day. We till worlds, fight beasts, and think where others panic. The Guardian, massive and ancient, bowed slightly. The artifact glowed brighter, acknowledging Marcus's worthiness. It resonated, humming with potential, its energy now aligned with a human mind that dared claim it. But there was no time to revel in victory. The stars outside the ruins darkened as fleets of alien ships emerged, weapons gleaming, engines screaming with aggression. They came for the artifact. Lyria said, her voice low, tense. They are not alone. Others covet its power. The universe does not take kindly to mortals claiming what it has guarded for eons. Marcus's eyes narrowed. Then we fight. Humans do not back down. We do not flee, and we do not surrender. The artifact pulsed in his hands, responding to his will. Energy shields sprang around the ruins, deflecting the first salvo of alien weaponry. Marcus analyzed the attack patterns, calculating trajectories, predicting enemy maneuvers with precision that no alien could anticipate. Lyria fired her own weapons, supernatural precision cutting through the ranks of enemy ships. Yet it was Marcus, human, who devised the strategy. Using the artifact, he manipulated gravity, energy fields, and spatial distortions to turn the attackers against each other. Alien warlords screamed as their formations collapsed, their ships tearing each other apart in chaos. Marcus's mind raced, adjusting tactics, anticipating reinforcements, exploiting weaknesses with human ingenuity. This is why humans endure, he muttered, eyes burning with resolve. We do not rely solely on strength or technology. We rely on will, intelligence, and the unshakable refusal to be defeated. The battle raged through the skies and the ruins, explosions rocking the ground. Marcus moved like a conductor, orchestrating every maneuver with precision. Lyria watched, both awed and challenged by this human, who defied expectation at every turn. Hours passed, or perhaps only moments. Time became fluid in the heat of battle. Yet Marcus never faltered. Every alien strike was countered, every strategy outwitted, every threat met with the cunning only a human could possess. Finally, the enemy fleets, broken and demoralized, retreated. The ruins, though scarred and battered, stood. The artifact pulsed in quiet harmony, recognizing Marcus as its master. Lyria stepped beside him, silence filling the space between them. You have done the impossible, she said. No being in my memory has achieved this. You are human. Marcus allowed himself a faint smile. Yes, human, resilient, clever, dangerous. And this is only the beginning. The artifact hummed softly, as if agreeing. The universe stretched infinitely before them, full of threats, ancient powers, and impossible challenges. Yet Marcus Hendricks, farmer turned hero, knew one unshakable truth. Humans would not bow. Humans would not falter. Humans would endure, outthink, and overcome, no matter how vast or cruel the cosmos became. The hunt continued, the stars themselves whispering of a human who had changed the balance of the universe, a single soul proving that the species was more than fragile, more than mortal. It was unstoppable. And somewhere in the far reaches of space, other ancient beings began to stir, taking notice. A human held the artifact, had survived the Guardian, and had outsmarted alien fleets. The universe, long accustomed to fear and order, trembled in anticipation. Marcus Hendricks gripped the artifact tightly. His eyes scanned the infinite horizon. The journey had only begun. The stars outside the ship stretched into streaks of light as Marcus Hendricks and Lyria left the ruined planet behind. The artifact pulsed softly in his hands, its energy alive, whispering in ways he could barely comprehend. "Where to next?" Lyria asked, her voice sharp yet tinged with curiosity. Marcus's eyes narrowed. "Anywhere danger lurks. Anywhere the impossible waits. Humans do not run from challenges. We face them. Head on." Lyria's glowing eyes softened slightly. She had seen centuries of civilizations rise and fall, yet she had never encountered a being like Marcus, a human who dared touch godlike power, survive cosmic guardians, and defy death with nothing but intellect, courage, and will. He studied the navigation systems of her ship, his human mind deciphering alien symbols in minutes. Patterns emerged that no alien engineer had thought a human could understand. The ship's engines pulsed, reacting to his adjustments. He was no longer a mere passenger. He was a pilot, strategist, and warrior in one, proof of human adaptability. They emerged from hyperspace into a sector that shimmered with an unnatural glow. Nebulae twisted into shapes like skeletal fingers, and massive debris fields spun slowly, remnants of battles fought eons ago. "They call this region the Hollow Spine," Lyria said. "Pirates, warlords, and ancient entities roam here. Few survive long." Marcus's jaw tightened. "Then it is perfect. Humans thrive where others perish. We are the survivors, the thinkers, the warriors, and we are about to make our mark." As they descended into the sector, a massive vessel loomed ahead. Its hull glistened black as obsidian, massive spikes protruding like claws. Energy weapons bristled along its sides, and alien sigils glowed ominously. Lyria stiffened. "That ship, it belongs to Vrakon. Interstellar vampires older than most stars. They feed on civilizations, enslave worlds, and leave nothing behind." Marcus grinned, eyes blazing. "Sounds like the perfect challenge. Let them come. Humans survive when others fail. We thrive in impossible odds." The Vrakon vessel launched smaller attack craft toward them, sleek, deadly, and fast. Lyria fired her weapons with precision, cutting sways through the enemy lines. Yet Marcus, using the artifact, created energy distortions that turned the attackers against one another. "Humans are unpredictable," he muttered. "We use every advantage, every instinct, every ounce of intelligence. That is why we endure." Lyria's voice was quiet, almost reverent. "You manipulate forces even I cannot control. Your mind, it is extraordinary." The battle escalated. Energy beams collided in the void, asteroids shredded under fire, and the ship twisted and dulled with impossible agility. Marcus's strategy was flawless, combining his human intuition with the artifact's unpredictable energy. The Vrakon commander, sensing his prey's intelligence, boarded his ship with a team of elite warriors. Lyria's eyes narrowed. They intend to strike directly. Humans cannot match them in close quarters. Marcus smiled faintly. "Humans do not fight like others. We innovate, we adapt, we survive by turning disadvantages into strengths." When the boarding party arrived, Marcus led the counterattack. The corridors of Lyria's ship became a battlefield of light and shadow. Alien claws tore at metal, fangs flashed, and human ingenuity turned simple tools into deadly weapons. Marcus used the artifact to bend the environment. Walls shifted, gravity altered, energy fields redirected. Each move was calculated, yet fluid, a dance of survival and intelligence that no alien could anticipate. One by one, the Vrakon warriors fell. The commander, a towering vampire with eyes like molten gold, faced Marcus. "You are clever human," the commander hissed. "But cleverness will not save you." Marcus grinned. "Cleverness, courage, and willpower. Humans have survived galaxies because we combine all three. You will see that today." The fight was brutal. Marcus dodged strikes that could cleave him in two, countered with the artifact's energy pulses and his own ingenuity. Lyria joined, her attack precise and deadly, yet it was Marcus's unpredictability that turned the tide. Finally, the commander fell, screaming in disbelief as Marcus used the artifact to create a pulse that immobilized him. The Vrakon forces surrendered or fled. Lyria's glowing eyes regarded Marcus with something close to awe. "You are more than I imagined. Humans are remarkable." Marcus wiped blood from a scratched arm. "We are dangerous because we endure. We think. We adapt. We do not fail when the universe expects us to." With the Vrakon defeated, Marcus and Lyria returned to the artifact's chamber on the ruined planet. The Guardian awaited them, silent, massive, its body trembling with the planet's residual energy. "You hold what mortals should not," it rumbled. "Yet you survive. You endure. You prove the universe wrong." Marcus held the artifact aloft. "Humans endure because we refuse to surrender. We are intelligent, courageous, and adaptable. That is why we survive. That is why we thrive." The Guardian lowered its massive form, then continued. "Show the universe why humans cannot be underestimated." The artifact hummed in agreement, its power now fully in sync with Marcus's human mind. Lyria stepped closer. "The universe will test you further. There are ancient beings beyond reckoning, warlords older than galaxies, and entities that feed on existence itself. Few mortals could withstand even one of them." Marcus's eyes burned. "I am not a mortal in the way you think. I am human, and humans defy what is expected. We survive. We endure. We conquer, and we will face them all." The next days were a whirlwind of travel through the galaxy. They explored abandoned worlds, where civilizations had risen and fallen in a blink of cosmic time. Marcus observed patterns, learned from ruins, and devised strategies that allowed them to survive encounters with rogue AI, plasma storms, and space-dwelling predators the size of moons. Each victory reinforced the HFY truth. Human adaptability, intelligence, and courage were unmatched. On one desolate moon, they discovered a hive of energy-based entities. The creatures moved faster than light, their forms intangible, capable of devouring matter with thought alone. Most species would have fled. Marcus approached deliberately, studying their patterns. Using the artifact, he created resonant pulses that disrupted the entity's cohesion. They faltered, then scattered, unable to comprehend the unpredictable logic of a human mind coupled with the artifact's power. Lyria looked at him, eyes wide. "You think differently than anything I have encountered. You are a force even the universe struggles to contain." Marcus shrugged, blood and sweat coating his hands. "Humans do not surrender. We do not fear the unknown. We solve it, adapt to it, and survive it." As they continued, news reached them through whispers of the stars. The Vrakon Emperor himself had taken notice. Ancient warlords, cosmic predators, and entities older than stars began to converge toward the human who wielded the artifact. Lyria's fangs glinted in the dim light. The hunt intensifies. They will send their strongest. Do not falter, Marcus Hendricks. The universe tests you because it fears what human can achieve. Marcus's hands tightened around the artifact. Let them come. Humans thrive in impossible odds. We endure when all else fails. And we will show the universe why mortals cannot be underestimated. The ship lifted, engines roaring. The stars stretched into infinite possibilities. The artifact pulsed, alive, resonating with human willpower, intelligence, and courage. Somewhere in the depths of space, the Vrakon Emperor growled, sensing the ripple of human influence. Ancient entities stirred. Worlds shook with the approach of an unstoppable force. Humanity, and Marcus Hendricks, farmer turned warrior, holder of the artifact, pilot of destiny, stared into the infinite void. His eyes burned with determination. Humans would not bow. Humans would not falter. Humans would endure. The galaxy itself had no choice but to reckon with them. And the hunt, the war, and impossible trials had only just begun. The artifact pulsed in Marcus Hendricks' hands as the ship sailed through the void of space. A soft hum vibrated through his bones, the energy alive with the knowledge of millennia. He had faced impossible odds. Ancient guardians, interstellar vampires, rogue warlords, and entities that existed before the first stars. Yet he stood unbroken, a single human in a galaxy that underestimated the species at every turn. Lyria sat across from him, her usual predatory grace tempered with an almost human admiration. "You are extraordinary," she whispered. "I have seen civilizations rise and fall. I have walked among worlds older than your sun. Yet you bend fate itself. Humans, you are not merely resilient. You are dangerous in ways few can comprehend." Marcus allowed himself a faint smile. "We endure because we must. We survive because we adapt. We thrive because we refuse to surrender. That is humanity. That is why the universe cannot contain us." The stars streaked past, each a beacon of possibility, each a reminder that the cosmos itself was vast, indifferent, and full of perils that would have shattered any lesser being. Yet Marcus had not only survived, he had reshaped the odds, proving that human ingenuity, courage, and resilience were forces that could not be ignored. Ahead, a system of planets shimmered with an unnatural glow, signaling the final trial. Lyria's eyes narrowed. "This is the crucible. The Vrakon Emperor himself awaits. He has grown aware of your actions, Marcus Hendricks. He believes mortals cannot wield the artifact. He believes you will fail." Marcus gripped the artifact tighter, feeling its warmth and potential. He is wrong. Humans succeed where others falter. Humans endure where others perish. We are not creatures to be underestimated. And today, the universe will witness that truth. The crucible unfolded before them. A system shattered by ancient wars, planets fragmented, suns destabilized, and cosmic storms swirling with energy older than time itself. The Vrakon Emperor's ship emerged, a vessel of black metal that seemed to drink light, massive, bristling with weapons that could obliterate entire worlds. Marcus's pulse quickened, not with fear, but with anticipation. This was humanity at its finest. He would not cower. He would not falter. Humans thrived in impossibility. The battle began without warning. Energy beams screamed through space, colliding with the shields of Lyria's ship. Marcus, using the artifact, twisted gravity around a battlefield, creating pockets where enemy attacks collided, rendering their superior numbers useless. The Emperor's minions launched boarding parties, moving with lethal precision, but Marcus was ready. Each corridor became a chessboard, every move calculated, every strike anticipated. The artifact amplified his human ingenuity, creating shields, traps, and diversions that no Vrakon could foresee. Lyria fought alongside him, a predator of the highest order, yet even she marveled at his tactics. "No mortal has ever used this power like you," she muttered, slicing through elite soldiers with surgical precision. Marcus grinned. "I am human. We improvise, we adapt, and we endure. That is why the universe fears us." Hours stretched into what felt like moments. The artifact pulsed with every heartbeat, every calculated decision. Marcus manipulated energy fields, bending reality in ways that made the Emperor's attacks backfire upon his own fleet. Finally, the Emperor himself appeared, stepping onto Lyria's ship in a display of terrifying authority. His eyes, golden and ancient, burned with fury and disbelief. "You dare to survive?" he hissed. "A human wielding the artifact?" Marcus held the artifact aloft, energy flaring around him. "I survive because humans do not surrender. I endure because humans adapt. I thrive because humans innovate. And today, you will see why the universe cannot underestimate us." The Emperor lunged, his power radiating like a supernova. The corridors of the ship twisted, energy distorting reality itself. Marcus countered, not with brute force, but with precision, strategy, and creativity. He redirected energy flows, destabilized the Emperor's power sources, and turned the very structure of the ship into a weapon against him. The battle reached a climax. Energy ripped through space, lighting up the void with colors unseen by human eyes. The Emperor roared, his ancient voice shaking the cosmos. But Marcus, with his human resolve, did not falter. With a final surge of the artifact, he amplified his intellect and reflexes to their peak, anticipating every move, every counter, every desperate strike. He used the artifact not to destroy blindly, but to neutralize the Emperor's advantage, turning his power against him. The Vrakon Emperor stumbled, overwhelmed by the combination of human cunning and the artifact's energy. Marcus pressed forward, his determination unwavering. Humans endure. Humans conquer. Humans survive. A final pulse of energy erupted from the artifact, engulfing the Emperor in blinding light. The ancient vampire fell, defeated, not by raw strength, but by strategy, courage, and the ingenuity that defined humanity. Silence followed the explosion. The debris of the battle floated in the void, but Marcus stood unbroken, the artifact humming in quiet agreement. Lyria approached him, her glowing eyes filled with awe. You have done what none thought possible. A human has defeated the Vrakon Emperor. The galaxy will remember this. Marcus exhaled, sweat and exhaustion coating him. It is not about defeating them alone. It is about proving that humans endure when all odds are against them. We survive. We adapt. We think. We prevail. The artifact pulsed softly, acknowledging his mastery. The energy flowed through him, not corrupting, not overwhelming, but harmonizing. It recognized the unique spirit of humanity, the determination that no ancient being, alien warlord, or cosmic entity could comprehend. Together, Marcus and Lyria left the battlefield, the artifact secured, its power no longer a threat to the galaxy, but a testament to human potential. Weeks later, Marcus returned to Earth, the ship descending through familiar skies. The stars were the same, yet he saw them differently now. Humanity had survived where civilizations older than time had fallen. The galaxy had tested him, pushed him to the limits of endurance, intelligence, and courage, and he had emerged victorious. The fields of his farm stretched before him, the earth rich and quiet. The wind carried the scent of soil, grass, and home, a stark contrast to the cosmic chaos he had endured. He knelt, placing a hand on the earth. Humans survived not because of magic, alien technology, or ancient power. Humans survived because they endured, because they thought, because they refused to bow. Lyria stood beside him, her fangs bared in a rare smile, her glow dimmed to a gentle shimmer. You returned the world of mortals, yet you carry the weight of the galaxy on your shoulders. Marcus looked at her, eyes steady. The galaxy does not define humanity. Humanity defines itself. We endure, we adapt, we survive, and we rise to challenges no one else can face. She nodded. Perhaps humans are not merely prey. Perhaps you are predators in your own right, dangerous, intelligent, and unyielding. I have hunted many worlds, but today I have learned that humans are forces even the universe respects. The artifact lay in Marcus's hands, its power calm, aligned with his will. He could sense the possibilities it held. Yet he knew its true value was not in domination, but in proving what humanity could achieve. As the sun set over the horizon, painting the sky in gold and violet, Marcus looked toward the stars. The galaxy was vast, filled with threats, wonders, and challenges beyond imagination. Yet humans had survived worse than any cosmic predator, worse than any warlord, worse than any ancient entity. And they would continue to survive. Humanity is unstoppable, he whispered, eyes burning with quiet determination. We endure. We adapt. We conquer. And we will rise, no matter how impossible the odds. The wind rustled through the crops, the earth beneath him steady and familiar. He had traveled the stars, faced the impossible and returned, and he knew one undeniable truth. Humanity's story was only beginning, and the universe would never again underestimate it. Lyria faded into the shadows, her purpose fulfilled. You have taught me something. Humans are not to be feared because they are weak. Humans are to be respected because they endure. Marcus watched her disappear, then turned toward his farm, toward home, toward the life he had left behind yet would never see the same way again. The artifact's hum softened, a gentle heartbeat of cosmic energy. It was not a weapon. It was a testament, a reminder of what humans could achieve when they refused to yield. As the night fell over the fields, stars glittering far above, Marcus Hendricks, farmer, warrior, and hero, understood the ultimate truth. Humans were not merely survivors. They were thinkers, innovators, and conquerors of the impossible. They were the spark that lit galaxies, and the universe had no choice but to reckon with them. The story of a human who repaired an alien ship, survived cosmic guardians, outwitted ancient vampires, and held an artifact of unimaginable power would echo across the stars for generations. Marcus smiled, hand resting on the artifact. The galaxy could wait. He had returned to his home, to the Earth, to the life that had made him human. Yet somewhere in the distant void, stars shimmered differently now. The universe had witnessed the endurance of humanity, and it would never be the same again. Humans had proven themselves, and the stars would always remember.